Every single person who watched football in the 2010s has heard the name Johnny Manziel and knows all about his rollercoaster of a career. While some football fans continue to admire the quarterback, others have serious questions about his career. In this video, we're going to go over every detail of Manziel's career, including its ups and downs, and how his football career came to an end. Early life. Johnny Manziel, born on the 6th of December 1992 to Michelle and Paul Manziel in Tyler, Texas, is an American gridiron football quarterback. Manziel grew up loving sport and was an enthusiastic football, baseball, golf and a basketball player. Johnny Manziel's high school success. He went to Tybee High School in Kerrville, Texas, where he rose to fame in playing football for 4 years, starting with the freshman squad in his first year. During his first year, he was already a varsity receiver. He played as a receiver in the beginning of his sophomore year, but by the fourth game, he started at quarterback. He finished the season with 1,164 throwing yards, 806 running yards, and 408 receiving yards for a total of 28 touchdowns, where he was given the title of the Fork Hero from his coaches, parents, and sports writers. A first-team quarterback his junior year, he finished the season with 2,903 passing yards and 55 touchdowns, and was voted District 27 4A MVP and All-San Antonio Area Offensive Player of the Year. In his sophomore year, he earned the name Johnny Football. The Texas A&M quarterback was highly recruited out of high school, with offers from several states like Baylor, Colorado, Louisiana, Stanford, Tulsa, and Wyoming, in addition to Texas A&M's. The University of Texas did not recruit Manziel out of high school, despite his growing up as a Texas Longhorn supporter. Originally committed to Oregon, Manziel changed his mind and committed to the Aggies under the influence of then-quarterbacks coach Tom Roselli. By the end of his high school years, he was also compared to famous quarterbacks like Michael Vick, Brett Favre, and Drew Brees. College career. As a result of an athletic scholarship, Manziel attended Texas A&M University from 2011 to 2013, where he played for the new coach Kevin Sumlin. During the 2011 season, Manziel was a redshirt player and did not appear in any games. Following his January college enrollment, he was selected for the travel squad. A combination of Manziel's performance and other Heisman Trophy frontrunners falling in the days that followed helped propel Manziel to the top of most national watch lists and polls. In his first year itself, he received the Davey O'Brien and Heisman Trophy, which made him the first ever freshman to receive these awards. According to the coaches poll, Texas A&M began 2013 ranked 6th in the country, as a result of reports surfacing in January 2013 saying that he had been selling signed autographs. Manziel's eligibility for the 2013 season was questioned. Manziel was suspended by Texas A&M for the first half of the team's season opening game against Rice on August 28, 2013, after the NCAA acknowledged that Manziel had not been paid for the autographs. Manziel passed for 464 yards and 5 touchdowns against number 1 Alabama in a 49-42 defeat. Mike Evans set a school record with 7 receptions for 279 yards. Manziel threw for 446 yards and 3 interceptions in the 51-41 win over Mississippi State. In 2013, he was voted 5th in the Heisman Trophy voting. NFL career. After announcing his decision to forego his junior season, Manziel entered the 2014 NFL Draft in January. His draft stock was increasing as of January 15, 2014. Manziel chose to throw on Texas A&M's Pro Day on March 27, 2014 instead of the NFL Combine. Manziel completed 64 of his 66 throws to 6 different receivers at his Pro Day. Pre-NFL draft scouting reports on Manziel ranged from undraftable to rare competitor. On draft day, Manziel was passed over by 21 clubs, including the Cleveland Browns. "I want to wreak havoc on this league," Manziel texted then Browns QB coach Dowell Loggains before being picked. Browns head coach Mike Pettine traded up to get Manziel. Pro football fans did not take to Manziel right away. He was fined $12,000 for insulting Washington Redskins players by flipping the bird during the preseason game in 2014. Browns quarterback Brian Hoyer was selected over Manziel because of his Johnny Football college style of play. It was not until late November that Manziel was able to take the field to replace an inefficient Hoyer. A game against the Bengals marked his first start as a starter. He completed 10 out of 18 passes for a sad 80 yards and 2 interceptions. The 27.3 passer rating is the 3rd worst debut ever. As a result, Cleveland suffered a 30-0 loss. He was injured before halftime in his second start against Carolina and was replaced by Hoyer. Manziel was sidelined for the remainder of the season due to an injury. Manziel's rookie year numbers read 18 completed passes, 176 passing yards, 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions (INTs). Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel's 2014 season was a joke, according to Brown. The rookie quarterback showed signs of potential when he took over for an ailing Josh McCown early in the season. He scored his first touchdown in the NFL against Jets. A 31-10 defeat followed when he committed 3 turnovers in the second half. In the next week's triumph over Tennessee, he threw for 178 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Manziel passed for 169 yards and 1 score against the Bengals in Week 9 of 2015. In Week 10, against the Steelers, he finally passed the 300-yard milestone, 372 yards. The Browns lost 39 despite their best efforts. Videos surfaced showing Manziel partying in Texas during the team's off-season. In favor of McCown and Austin Davis, he was relegated to the 3rd string. In the wake of McCown's injury and Davis's poor performance, Manziel returned to the field. During Cleveland's 24-10 victory over the 49ers, Manziel passed for 270 yards and 1 score. A few days before the team's final regular season game, Manziel took a trip to Las Vegas. A scheduled check-in on the morning of the game was cancelled due to his late return to Cleveland. If Manziel's time in Cleveland wasn't over after his trip to Las Vegas, it would be shortly. Manziel was investigated for domestic abuse with his ex-girlfriend in the off-season of 2015. He allegedly struck his ex-girlfriend in the side of the head, rupturing her eardrum. This happened as Johnny reportedly dragged into his car during an argument. As a result of Manziel's actions, the team published a statement on March 11, 2016, saying that he had been released from the team since his conduct on and off-field was unacceptable. Manziel would not return to the field for more than 2 full seasons. The Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League signed him to a 2-year contract in 2018. During the Tiger Cats' first 6 games, Manziel sat on the bench. He was then traded by the CFL to the Montreal Alouettes. Manziel struggled when he finally got the chance to play for Montreal, throwing 4 interceptions before halftime. Manziel was sidelined for the most of the season after suffering a concussion during his second start. A 64.2% completion rate helped him finish his first CFL season with 1,290 passing yards, 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in the first season. In February of 2019, Montreal announced that Manziel had been released. CFL officials said Manziel had to visit a doctor and undergo weekly therapy sessions as part of his contract. Manziel failed to attend several mandatory meetings, and as a result, the CFL released him from his obligations. In March of 2019, the Memphis Express of the New Alliance of American Football contacted him and offered him a job. After signing with Memphis, Manziel appeared in just 2 games, completing 5 of 8 passes for 61 yards and 1 interception. He played in his second game before the NFL banned him for life. His NFL career ended with a 2-6 record, 57% completion rate, 165 yards and 7 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. What do you think of Johnny Manziel's career? Let us know in the comment section below and what you think of his time in the NFL.